Tonight on News 5 Live, 3 murders in less than 24 hours. A well-known musician is shot and killed in Dangriga. A resort owner is executed in Toledo district. And police say that the hit on Carl Renault may have been gang-related. UDP Chairman Parafit says PM letter is filled with untruths. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Boy, fresh already for Father's Day.
Father's Day? But you not got no picnic?
I talk about the Belize Father's Day Fest. You know hear about that?
That what that? But tell me about this.
On June 18 at Belize Superstore, Belize City, it's the first ever Belize Father's Day Fest. It's a 3-in-1 all-day free event. The Belize 100 kart race, where different racers will compete to claim the top prize and to also see who will become the champion. But wait, popping deals for that. Up to 25% off. And to end off the day, free concert featuring the top artists in Belize like
The one and only Jacobs.
This is Kyle O'Neilly.
This is your girl, Yas Talia. This is Denise Castillo.
Yo, this is Super G, the General. The thing I sell off, make sure no come out.
June 18, mark your calendar. It's probably on your phone right now, man.
Dale, the man not the lie, watch the thing, yeah?
Sure.
Why?
Belize Father's Day Fest.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
My name is Wilmer De La Rosa from Santa Elena Town. I am currently a student at Cayo, set for employment training. Enrolled in the electrical installation program. In late July 2021, I got a confirmation that I was a successful applicant and would be granted a scholarship from Social Security Board. It was one of the proudest moments for me. I felt very excited to start this new path in my life. So far on my journey as a Social Security Board scholar, my vocational technical scholarship has assisted me in achieving my life goals in so many ways. For one, it has renewed sense of purpose, another chance at professional development, and a start at a new career. This opportunity has paved the way for me to excel in life as an individual and as a member of society. Great things are coming after I graduate from SET. I can promise you that. Applying for a vocational technical scholarship through the Social Security Board is simple and easy. I would advise young people in need to apply. It is possible to create a fulfilling and fruitful life with a Social Security scholarship. Believe in yourself and your abilities and skills. I always say the key is to always keep an open mind and let your determination be your motivation.
It's time to bring the energy and entertainment back to Tuesday nights. It's time for the return of KTV The Remix. We're looking for new talent for this year's competition. Auditions will be held at Channel 5 Studios in Belize City on June 25th and 26th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Must be 16 years and older. Bring your best voice and come TV ready.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, June 14th. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight we begin with tragic news from Belize's culture capital. A well-known resident who was popular for music was gunned down last night on one of the busiest arteries in Dangriga, just an hour after he stood joking with his brothers near the riverside. His siblings told us earlier that he did not go looking for trouble, but apparently trouble went looking for him, as a gunman was captured on camera running up to his target and then running away after the crime. Now, as police piece together this homicide, a family is left planning a funeral for the father of a 4-year-old. News 5's Marian Ali went to speak with the family in Dangriga today and filed this report.
31-year-old Robert Michael Coote, a resident of Newside area in Dangriga, was targeted as he stood in front of a game shop on St. Vincent Street around 7:45 p.m. Police say Coote's attacker, dressed in dark clothing, fired a barrage of gunshots. 9 of them found their mark, and Coote collapsed on the street, mortally wounded. He was pronounced dead at around 9 p.m. at the Southern Regional Hospital. Coote, who was a fisherman, was also known in his community as a musician. His brother, Fernando Avila, told us that he was with Coote about an hour before he got shot and was supposed to go back to meet him.
Man tell me when I go on, man tell me wait.
come back for me in the next half an hour, 45 minutes. So I tell the man, alright then, I'll come back for you in the next hour. The man say, straight then. So I call who now, and I call who. I tell my sister, my brother, that, alright then, the brother say, make I go back for you, you dig? So I got inside of my room now. I had chilling in my room, the smoke a weed thing. And if you go back for you, all I hear the man get shot.
Frederick Coote, another of Robert's brothers, remembered him as someone who brought people laughter.
So that's my person. The man just idle himself thing. Well, the man just always make people smile and laugh and thing. Like right now, if you're there right now, he just look for you and make you start laugh.
The brothers denied other media reports that Coote associated with street gangs.
And I like how the media class the man as a gang boss, Riverside gang boss. A man don't know no boss. You know, a fisherman.
Police have reportedly secured surveillance footage as well as material evidence they believe can help in their investigation. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Shortly after Coote was shot, Dangriga police sprung into action and detained a man. As we reported, surveillance cameras captured the incident unfolding. Today, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams shared with reporters what police have been able to establish so far.
Police quick response led to the detention of an individual who we believe is a suspect. He was also found to be in possession of a pistol, 9mm, which we believe is a murder weapon. And so officers are now working to put the pieces together where that murder is concerned. Certainly we expect retaliations, and we have mobilized and put additional resources in Dangriga town with a view to ensure that we do our best to avert such retaliation.
The owner of a resort in San Antonio Village, Toledo, was murdered on Monday. The elderly victim, 70-year-old Kevin Brown, was discovered by his neighbors when they went to visit him, but he refused to respond to the front door. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams shared with reporters today that the investigators have established what they believe was the motive for the killing.
From what investigators are seeing, or what investigators saw on the scene, it would appear to have been a robbery went wrong. And the place was ransacked and several items were missing, including the seized licensed shotgun. And so there are persons that we're looking at with the hope that we will be able to get some positive leads to be able to solve this murder in Punta Gorda.
Carl Renna was executed on Faubers Road Extension on Monday afternoon as he rode his bicycle in the direction of Central American Boulevard. The 33-year-old was shot multiple times and left for dead on the sidewalk. Despite being rushed to the KHMH, Renna expired while receiving emergency medical attention. But why was he rubbed out in such callous fashion? This afternoon, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told us that Renna's murder may have been a reprisal for previous crimes he may have committed.
We believe the one at Carl Renna may have been gang-related and could also be a retaliation for previous incidents that he have had with the law. And so we have some suspects we're looking at likewise, but again, it will be difficult unless people who are around will speak. But you heard the interview of the family member yesterday, how they describe him to be a bad man. At least that's an honest one, right? He do not try to cover the behavior of the now deceased. But as we have always said before, every life lost is a significant loss to our family. And so we will do our best to find out who is responsible and try to bring them to justice.
A female officer is making headlines tonight after running afoul of the law for a third time. In 2018, WPC Stephanie Patton was charged for physically assaulting a female patron inside an establishment in Orange Walk Town. 2 years later, she was busted along with several other persons for possession of 23 pounds of marijuana. She walked away from that drug trafficking charge when someone else took the rap for that quantity of weed. Tonight, she is being held in detention in Orange Walk following a raid on her property this morning that turned up an assault rifle, a pair of 9mm pistols, and a quantity of crack cocaine. According to Compostable Williams, charges are expected to be brought against the officer. Her fate as a cop will subsequently be decided by an internal tribunal.
This morning, there was an operation launched in Orange Walk town by police. And during that operation, the home of a female police officer was searched. That search yielded one M4 carbine rifle, 2 9mm pistols, several 2 to 3 rounds of ammunition, as well as several 9mm rounds of ammunition, including some cocaine, some crack cocaine. Police currently have that officer in custody along with 3 other persons who were at home with her at the time. And hopefully between today and tomorrow they should be charged and taken before the court.
Sir, this same policewoman was caught in 2020 and charged for possession of 10 parcels of suspected cannabis weighing a total of 23.4 pounds. She pleaded not guilty at the time, and someone else gave a guilty plea. Looking back at that, should she have been charged earlier?
Well, she was charged, but the thing is, like you said, someone took the rap and she got off. This case is different now. The items are found in her home. I don't see how, if someone go and plead guilty, she will get off. With this one, I don't see. I do not foresee that now.
Will this, at any point, depending on the outcome, prompt you to take action against her? I know you've taken a zero-tolerance position on officers who run afoul of the law. What would you foresee this to be, depending on the outcome?
Well, certainly the matter is going before the court, and we'll have our own internal process as well.
Late this evening, reports reaching News 5 suggest that embattled Deputy Mayor Micah Gooding has handed in his letter of resignation from the post he's held for the past few months. It comes on the heels of a motion supported by fellow councillors that Gooding demits office as a result of dishonorable behavior. He was given 2 weeks initially to resign, and then last week, an extension was granted to Gooding ahead of a vote this Wednesday at a special meeting of the Belize City Council. Credible sources tells News 5 that Gooding delivered the resignation letter to Prime Minister John Bersenio and not his boss, Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner. Just before news time, however, our newsroom confirmed with Councillor Albert Vaughan, who had initiated the motion for Gooding's removal, that the council had not received any letter of resignation and that it would proceed as planned with a vote on Wednesday. This morning at his residence, police confiscated another of Micah Gooding's licensed firearms, and he was served with a letter. The councillor, along with Tariq James, the man accused of discharging his weapon from inside Gooding's vehicle during a shooting incident in mid-May, should write to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams to justify why they should keep their firearms license.
I cannot, at this stage, prematurely state that his license will be revoked. That will be tantamount to making a decision without having given him the opportunity to be heard. And so I will await for his response to the letter that was written to him. And based on his response, then I will determine whether or not the license will be revoked.
Compal, the last interview we conducted with you, you had mentioned that 3 firearms would have been taken in to the Forensic Science Service for ballistic analysis, including Micah's firearm. What are the results, if any, of that particular test?
We're still awaiting the result of those tests, so it's still pending.
Of course, what you shared initially is simply due process being followed, because of course you said that firearm license holders have to carry themselves worthy of having a licensed firearm.
Certainly, and while yes, as the Commissioner, I do have the powers to revoke, I cannot exercise the power arbitrarily. I have to ensure that due process is carried through in order for me to make that determination.
Coming up, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams and attorney O.J. Elrington go head-to-head over Alicia Trapp. Details when we return.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Then Pilate called Jesus and said unto him, Art thou the King of the Jews? Jesus answered him, Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me? Throughout my travels, I have found in every home old Bibles, pianos, organs, clocks, antique furniture, and other treasures that have been handed down from one generation to the next. But there's one thing you cannot get to heaven with, and that is a hand-me-down religion. As one old deacon used to say, you can't get to heaven on your mother's apron strings or your father's coat tail. Jesus must personally be embraced. John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist denomination, discovered that being a Christian involved a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. He had always thought that he was a true Christian until one day on a ship caught in a storm on the Atlantic Ocean, fear got a hold of him. He noticed the only people on board who was not fear-stricken were a group of Moravian missionaries. Later, when the storm was abated, he asked one of them, "Were you not afraid?" "Afraid," said the Moravian. "Why should I be afraid? I know Christ." And then looking at Wesley with disconcerting frankness asked, "Do you know Christ?" John Wesley for the first time realized that he did not, and there on that ship gave his life to Christ. You say that you are a Christian, but I ask you the question that Jesus asked Pilate, "Sayest thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me?" You can't get to heaven, friend, on a hand-me-down religion. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
When all hope is lost and the days ahead look grim, we find ourselves looking for someone to shake things up, rescue us, and point us in the right direction. What if the one we've been waiting for has been here all along? Join us for our new series, Troublemaker, as we learn about a man who wasn't afraid to stand up for what's right to make this world a better place.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
My name is Natalie, and I'm a working mom with 2 small children. Before I got pregnant, there were never any issues about my performance at work. However, when I did get pregnant, the way I was treated made me feel that I wasn't welcome anymore in the workplace. And so I decided to resign for my health and for the health of my baby. By the time my husband and I decided to have a second child, I was working at a company that had policies that accommodate women who are pregnant and nursing mothers. For example, we would get time off to nurse our children. I feel lucky to be working for a company that does not discriminate against pregnant women or nursing mothers. I believe that all women in Belize deserve that right. And at the end of the day, we're all Belizeans and we should all be treated with respect.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
The United Democratic Party came out blazing against Commissioner of Police Chester Williams following the Commissioner's letter to WPC Alicia Trapp's attorney, Orson Elrington, on Monday. In the letter, Compostable Williams noted that while Trapp, in a report to police, claimed that Area Representative Julius Espat pointed his hands at her, causing her to apprehend fear of instant battery, her report is contradicted by the statements of other witnesses and photographs taken during the confrontation. Compostable Williams informed Elrington that the evidence gathered suggests that WPC Trapp was the one who assaulted Espat. Compostable Williams went on to note that WPC Trapp is to be arrested and charged for the crime of common assault upon Espat. Well, the opposition had this to say in response during a press conference in Belize City today.
Police officer Alicia Trapp is going to be charged with a meritless charge, whereas it is police officer Trapp that filed a report against the Minister Julius Espat. But in quintessential textbook dictatorial authoritarian regime fashion, they have turned the tables on her. And so this is a very sad day for our democracy, whereas Police Officer Trapp was merely exercising her constitutional right to vote in elections, in the village council elections. And her offense was to wear a red shirt. My suit jacket is blue, my pants is blue, even my socks are blue. And no one can accuse me of being a PUP.
Because subsequent to that, Miss Alicia Trapp was working as a community police officer, and I don't think the public and the press knows of this, but she was working as a community police officer. And in prototypical dictatorial authoritarian, as a person who seems as though they have a vendetta against anybody who seems to disagree with them, she was transferred to relief that resulted in her now having to work from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. But it seems as though that in itself was still not enough, because they now have decided, apparently, or at least through written communication, that they will go as far as charging Ms. Trapp. This is the type of behavior that we see in dictatorships and authoritarian regimes. I remember when the situation with the female police officers who have dreadlocks, it first had arisen. I personally contacted the Commissioner of Police and I said, my brother, you know, because I don't know if we're still friends at this point in time, because, you know, I am honest with you, I've lost tremendous respect for him. Tremendous amount of respect. There are certain things there's a certain level where there is no coming back for me.
Has woman police constable Alicia Trapp been assigned the graveyard shift in the wake of last weekend's kerfuffle with Cayo South area rep Julius Espat? That's the question posed to Compal Williams this evening. While he admitted that he does not follow in-house assignments, he does reiterate that she was the one who, in fact, assaulted the Minister of Infrastructure Development and Housing. He also had strong words for her attorney.
I do not follow those things when it comes to what a commander do within his or her station. That's not my job. Certainly, at her prior post that she had, she was the officer who was assigned to work at cabinet meetings. I don't think she expected that she would still be working cabinet meetings after all that had occurred. So if it is that the commander of Belmopan police station made some adjustments to be able to accommodate having someone else working at cabinet meeting as opposed to her, then I have a certain no objection for that. I don't know why her attorney continued to make an issue. The more he speaks, seemingly on her behalf, the more he's sinking her into a hole. I believe it's time for her attorney to shut the hell up and allow the process to occur. Let me say that in my letter to the attorney yesterday, I simply outlined the law to him and pointed out to him as well that the evidence is not there against Mr. Espat, but the contrary, where there is a lot of evidence against her. committing an assault upon the Honorable Julius Espat. Fortunately for her, Mr. Espat informed me this morning that he do not wish to proceed with court action against her at this time. And so based on that, she will not be charged criminally as outlined in the letter to her attorney yesterday. I think what Mr. Espat is hoping for is for her and her attorney to apologize and retract their story. And based on that, then he will determine if he'll proceed with the matter before the court.
Last night, we told you about the Prime Minister's letter to UDP Chairman Mike Perfit, which details the amount of monies Courtney Koyi LLP has received from the government of Belize for its services. The Prime Minister's response was prompted by a request from Perfit for such details under the Freedom of Information Act. As we reported, the letter states that Courtney Koyi LLP has received $227,842.50. Well, the opposition does not buy it, and Perfit says he was hoping for a further breakdown of the figures.
Quite predictably, the Prime Minister attempts to distract from the questions that I've asked him. He can't just say, for example, this is how much they were paid and these are the letters giving these gentlemen permission. He has to throw something in there that is so ridiculous in the hope that those things will grab the attention and not the answers to the questions that I have asked him. First of all, he says that Courtney Koyi and Company has been paid somewhere in the area of 200 and something, just shy of $300,000. Am I correct, Fonso? Yes. Somewhere short of $300,000. Now, if you believe that they've been paid just that, then I have seafront property to sell you in Belmopan. Because we have credible information that that is not what they have been paid. And then when you look at his letter to me, it is just riddled with falsehoods. Just things that are just amazing that indeed this man don't want sick puppy. Part of his letter, he claims that while I was Attorney General, I retained the same Douglas Mendes to work for the AG's ministry on some cases. I mean, I don't know what this man is smoking. That is just simply not true. When I never take his simple pills. Well, when I spoke to the former Prime Minister yesterday and I said, Prime Minister, am I mistaken that Mendes was not hired by the AG's ministry and the government to do cases for it whilst I was Attorney General? Former Prime Minister said, Mike, I may have to know what I mean, what I have to pay as Minister of Finance. That is simply not so.
Chairman Perfit also responded to the allegation that Barrow and Williams received over $20 million from the government of Belize under the UDP administration. 14 million of that, 20 million in legal fees. Perfit defended the UDP, contending that the claim is untrue and defamatory.
The current Prime Minister puts about the former Prime Minister, and he says something here, boy, I tell you, he might need to resurrect Johnny Cochran. He says, contrary to the recent lies told to the media and the public by former UDP Prime Minister Barrow, the government of Belize paid to Barrow and Williams almost $5 million, of which $1.3 million was paid in legal fees. The difference, it appears, is primarily in connection with the former Prime Minister's law firm securing payments by the UDP government to his law firm's clients for land acquisitions by the government. This man is saying in writing that the Right Honorable Dean Barrow steered clients to his law firm, and whilst he is the head of a UDP government, made sure that his law firm and their clients benefited from the government. Really? Really? I mean, really, if there was ever a slam dunk defamation case, really, you really will put that in a letter. I mean, this person is mad. Not true. You not think that if Barrow and Williams's name was on any legal document going to court representing the government of Belize, that the media wouldn't have had him for lunch? That was never the case. The media never made a deal about Barrow and Williams representing the government because it didn't.
Opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow says his position on the Prime Minister's speech at the 9th Summit of the Americas is his stance alone and not of the UDP. Barrow reportedly said that PM Briceño was, quote, nothing more than diplomatic prostitution, unquote. In his speech, PM Briceño chastised the Biden administration for not inviting Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to the summit. While PM Briceño's speech received high praises from the New York Times, Barrow says, quote, down with dictatorships, unquote.
My position, we have not had an opportunity as a party to discuss, because people ask for reform. But do you really want reform? Or do you want things to continue the way they did for the last 40 years? I don't believe in that. I also don't believe in homogeneous democracy. I believe in diversity. In Cuba, you don't even have a press corps. And I have a problem with that. I appreciate what they have done for Belize, but I have a problem with dictatorships as a leader of the opposition. In Cuba, those people who are publicly chiding me and attacking me that are part of the party, they would go missing in Cuba. That's what dictatorship looks like. So we have to appreciate the fact that I am not saying that as Prime Minister I will not have diplomatic relations with Cuba or Venezuela, but that will not be a wholesale relationship that, okay, you give Petrocarib, you give medical scholarships, and I will say, human rights violations don't matter, democracy doesn't matter.
The opposition is calling for the resignation of PUP Senator Colette Montejo from the upper house. Citing Sections 63 and 64 of the Constitution of Belize, UDP Chairman Michael Perifit says Montejo is disqualified from remaining in the Senate because of his appointment as field coordinator for the redistricting exercise.
This PUP senator, you see, the Constitution of Belize treads a fine needle like this. In certain instances, you are not qualified to be a senator if your situation makes you not qualified to be a member of the House. So you are not qualified to be a senator if certain things say you're not qualified to be a member of the House. Now, if you look at section, and I know you all walk around with your constitutions in your pockets, but if you look at 63(1) F1 of the Constitution of Belize, it says, no person shall be qualified to be appointed as a senator who, and we'll go to F, is disqualified for membership of the House of Representatives by any law by reason of his holding or acting in any office, the functions of which involve, 1, any responsibility for or in connection with the conduct of any election, or 2, any responsibility for the compilation or revision of any electoral register. This man has taken on a job to do that exact same thing. He needs to resign from the Senate if he wants to do that job.
Immediately.
And if just in case because they want to come and say I don't know Lila, right? Go to section 64 now. 64 2D. Every senator can say, oh, you're not qualified for being a senator, but you're done a senator. Well, this is what 64 says. Every senator shall vacate his seat in the Senate. And you go to 2D. Subject to the provisions of this section 3 of this section, if any circumstances arise that if he were not a senator would cause him to be disqualified for appointment as such by virtue of the same section 63(1) I just read.
After the break, GOB says it's illegal to sell carbon credits without its permission.
The best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan. A 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to Diginet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, or National Telecom.
It's time to bring the energy and entertainment back to Tuesday nights. It's time for the return of KTV The Remix. We're looking for new talent for this year's competition. Auditions will be held at Channel 5 Studios in Belize City on June 25th and 26th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Must be 16 years and older. Bring your best voice and come TV ready.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
On Wednesday, over 50 women in the fishing industry from across the country will converge in Placencia for a two-day forum. The fifth Women in Fisheries Forum is part of a Green Climate Fund readiness project entitled Enhancing Adaptation Planning and Increasing Climate Resilience in the Coastal Zone and Fisheries sector of Belize. It will look at gender and climate change, but more importantly, understanding the link between both. Director of Blue Economy, Maxine Monsato, told News 5 that the primary goal is for women to engage women in understanding their role in climate change adaptation and mitigation and improve community responsiveness.
It's inviting over, I believe the number is like 50 women to Placencia to discuss the role of gender, or rather gender and climate change, and the linkage between them, and understanding their role and how women respond to the impacts of climate change within the fishing sector. It's a part of an ongoing project, the Vulnerability in Fisheries project for Fisheries and Coastal Zone. It's being funded by the Food and Agriculture Organization, and it's with the Ministry of Economic Development and the Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation. So to give you an example, their representatives will be attending from Met. Invitations have gone to fisherwomen from Sartaneja, from, I hope I'm pronouncing this correct, the Wabafu group in Dangriga. I do apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. It's also to engage them in developing a strategy, a gender strategy for the small scale fishery sector from basically from a women's perspective, and allowing them to identify opportunities for building climate resilient communities. The two-day activity, the first day is mostly theoretical. They'll be listening to presentations. And then the second day, they'll be doing a field trip to Monkey River to see the impacts of climate change firsthand.
During the two-day event, the fisherwomen will be taken from Placencia to Monkey River to witness the impacts of climate change on the village. Director Maxine Monsato says that this can help these women involved in fishing and the coastal zone sector with their response to the impacts of climate change within their communities. A project funded by a new scheme within the Inter-American Development Bank's Japan Special Fund will see support being given to Belize to develop a program to promote sustainable growth of the blue economy. The project will be implemented by the bank over a two-year period. But what does this mean? According to Blue Economy Director Maxine Monsato, assessments will be carried out to determine the ability to diversify the fishing industry through fishing beyond the reef. As it currently stands, the fisheries industry is primarily represented by the production of lobster, conch, and shrimp in the nearshore marine waters within the barrier reef.
As many will know, fishing commercial species in Belize is usually on the inshore. Traditional species, lobster, conch. We have aquaculture for shrimp and finfish. However, as the blue economy space covers all the blue space, including the coastal zone and the area inside the reef, as well as the area outside the reef. Deep slope fishing, the idea is to take a look at the potential fisheries available beyond the reef, out in the open water in the blue. What the Fisheries is doing at this present moment is working with this technical corporation as well as with other entities to assess the potential of what species are available out there for fishing and to possibly develop a fishery sector in that space, as well as assess the capabilities of our fishers currently and what their needs are if we intend to move that way.
Currently, do we have fishers who fish beyond the reef?
A small number, not a lot. And it's very, very limited at this point because, as you know, going out there requires investment, other types of equipment. And that's the point of this technical corporation. It'll be doing an assessment of what we currently have and what is needed for it. So whether they need larger boats, whether they need training, capacity, that sort of thing. It'll be collecting that data, putting it together in an assessment and presenting, these are your options. This is the path that you should take forward in developing this sector.
It has come to the attention of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management that there are a number of companies purporting to sell carbon credits. In a release issued by the ministry today, it says that GOB has not authorized or sanctioned any of these transactions. The release says, quote, "The sale of carbon credits from Belize's jurisdiction affects the national carbon budget quota and our reporting requirements to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, inclusive of Belize's national determined contributions commitments," unquote. The release ends by saying that entities wishing to engage in the sale of carbon credits should contact the National Climate Change Office to undergo a review and approval process. A weather system that crossed near southern Belize over the last few days has dumped heavy rains in that part of the country, resulting in flooding in at least 2 villages up to early this morning. News 5 spoke with NEMO's Southern Regional Coordinator, Charles Leslie, who said that assessments have been ongoing to see if the 2 families need any assistance at this point in time and the extent of that help. What Leslie did allude to was that in the days to come, more farmers in that area may discover that their farms have been impacted.
The main area that of concern was Blue Creek, that's always the main area that we have issues. And as of 8 o'clock this morning, the water was about 10 feet above the bridge, receding. Only one house affected in that area. And in Punta Gorda town, we had one house affected in the Magoon area at the entrance of the town. Other than that, all the flood water has been receding. The farmers usually get affected, but we can't do an assessment with that until after the waters have receded, probably like 3 days to sometimes a week. And then DANA, that's the Damage Assessment Committee, they go in and then they interview all the farmers and then they do a report. And that report then goes to the District Emergency Committee and all the other relevant ministries.
When we return, Chester Williams dispels the motion of a transfer to the Immigration Department. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
June is full of joy at Cellular World. Cheers to our graduates and their dads, because during this month, we should come together to recognize their efforts with a meaningful gift. Give them a gadget to improve their life or that they will enjoy, such as a laptop for future university students or a cell phone or tablet for dad that wants to keep in touch. At Cellular World, we have great gift options for those that you love. Even better, we are giving away free scratch and win cards with every purchase over $25. Visit us at our stores in Belize City, Belmopan, and San Pedro, or shop with us online by sending us a message on WhatsApp at 615-5141. Find the perfect gift for your dad or grad at Cellular World.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
This morning, a man was convicted of murder in the courtroom of Justice Antoinette Moore in the Supreme Court Southern District Session. Almost 3 years to the day after he was arrested and charged for the murder of Dangriga fisherman Carlos Reyes, 28-year-old Starling Paris was found guilty in a trial without a jury. The Crown Counsel presented in court that on March 27th of 2019, Paris traveled from Belize City to Dangriga, where he stayed overnight. The following day, he and another man visited the residence of 40-year-old Carlos Reyes in Dangriga, where Paris accosted Reyes in his yard. Paris produced a firearm from his waist and shot Reyes several times. Reyes died on the spot. Paris traveled by boat back to Belize City. The case was prosecuted by Crown Counsel Reese Catus, and Paris was defended by attorney Arthur Saldivar. Is Commissioner of Police Chester Williams headed to the Immigration Department? It's hearsay that has been floating around for the past few days. While the Compol has taken to social media to clear up the idle talk, when we met him this afternoon, we posed the question to him on record. This is how he responded.
Well, I know that UDP do have a shadow cabinet, but I don't know if they think that the shadow cabinet is the executive of the country, that they can make decisions like that. But I'm happy to see that if they were to become government, that I will still have a job as Director of Immigration.
Superintendent Daniel Arzu emerged victorious on Sunday to become the new Village Council Chairman of Georgetown Village. Arzu ran as an independent candidate and bested other aspirants for the post. But he isn't going on pre-retirement leave until later this year. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams gave us a brief update.
Mr. Arzu is still the Southern Regional Commander. He is to proceed on pre-retirement leave later this year.
So how does that work with, I mean, I saw the memo that you went into the archives for, but now it's obvious that the village council elections are in fact being politicized. Would that change that policy now?
It is not my decision to change the policy. It's a matter for the Minister of Public Service and his CEO to change that, not me.
Just ahead, professional Belizean powerlifter makes history in South Africa.
And Messi is standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
It's time to bring the energy and entertainment back to Tuesday nights. It's time for the return of KTV The Remix. We're looking for new talent for this year's competition. Auditions will be held at Channel 5 Studios in Belize City on June 25th and 26th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Must be 16 years and older. Bring your best voice and come TV ready.
Today, National Director of the Miss Universe Belize organization revealed to News 5 that the pageant date has been set for August 13th. This announcement comes 4 days after the new group of delegates competing for the title was revealed over the weekend. Romeo Escobar says that the pageant returns to the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts with a bang after 2 years of the COVID pandemic. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Following the buzz over the announcement of a new cohort of delegates vying for the Miss Universe Belize 2022 title, National Director of the organization, Romeo Escobar, told News 5 today that the pageant date has been set.
Miss Belize pageant will be held on August 13th in Belize City at the Bliss Center. So we will be revealing more information as far as ticket sales goes pretty soon. But that's the date of the pageant final, August 13th. First of all, we're really excited to be back to having a pageant in person. You know, because of COVID-19, we were not able to host a pageant since 2019. In 2020, for 2020, we had to do everything virtual. 2021, we weren't able to send someone. So now coming back with a bang with this strong group of young ladies, all of them very capable of representing Belize at Miss Universe.
7 delegates, Kyra Nunes, Selena Scott, Kenya Tejada, Sigourney Usher, Samantha Singh, Ashley Lightburn, and Grace Brown. Escobar breaks down the process of selecting the class of 2022 for Miss Universe Belize.
As you can see, we have all ages, We have all ethnicities, we have all districts, a lot of different districts. We have different occupations, different education levels. So I think everyone brings something different to the pageant this year. The application process was online. Everyone sent in their applications, why they felt they should be the next Miss Belize. And then the committee, along with myself, interviewed them via Zoom, like we're doing now. And then we narrowed it down. We had about, I want to say about 20, 25 applications. And it came down to these 7. So I think that this group of young ladies is very strong, and they met all the requirements that Miss Universe in New York gives us to be able to participate in our pageant.
Many are of the opinion that Belize has recently had strong representation on the international pageant stage. With the country being noticed, is Belize on its way of getting a placement?
That we would get noticed, and that's what's been happening in the last couple of years. We have not placed at Miss Universe as yet, but I have no doubt that that placement is coming. I think that the entire world is noticing, Belize is noticing our girls, is noticing the effort that we're putting forth to be on that stage. And I think moving forward, as you can see, 2018 to now, our representatives that have been at Miss Universe are strong, are causing attention. Countries are speaking about Belize, are noticing our sash. So I think it's only a matter of time before we place. And I think it's important to continue that momentum, right? Because now we have people from around the world going to our social media pages to see who are the contestants for Belize, who's going to be the queen. So there's definitely excitement there. There's definitely attention being brought to the country. It costs thousands of American dollars just to send a contestant to compete at Miss Universe. So anyone that's interested in sponsoring the young ladies, is interested in being a sponsor of the pageant, can send us an email at missbelizeinfo@gmail.com.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Belizean professional power lifter Kaylin Godoy is back in Belize following a historic trip to the World Open Classic Powerlifting Champions in South Africa. Godoy made history by being the first Belizean to compete in the championship matchup. Furthermore, he placed 8 in his category out of 20 competitors, making him not only the strongest man in Belize, but also one of the strongest men in the world. We caught up with Godoy upon arrival at the PGIA today to hear more about his historic experience.
Mainly, I'm just really appreciative for the opportunity. We've done powerlifting for a while. It's been great. We've had nationals. We have a really good team for that. So going out there and being able to be the first to represent was a really cool experience, and I'm really grateful for that.
Now, let's talk a bit about the day you competed. I wouldn't call it a false start per se. I don't know that they're a false start, but there was a bit of challenge there in your first 2 squats, which you appeared to overcome. What was running through your mind for those first 2 squats, and how were you able to kind of gather yourself and get back in the game?
So the biggest thing from that we learned right away, and the only way you learn is by going there and being able to experience it, was that Worlds is different. So we've done NAPF, we've done Belize Nationals, we've seen competitions such as Mega Nationals for the USA, and we've seen depth calls, and it was not the same as Worlds. So they were really, really strict, which is, I mean, that's Worlds. But the first one was not the ideal way to start. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll recover in the second. And then on the second one, when we got the no depth as well, that was a very sticky situation. So we had a really good, cool guy. Shout out to David Ricks, who was backstage, and he just said that if you feel like you're at depth, just go deeper than that. So the one thing was to go out there and to not bomb, and thankfully we recovered. I've been doing powerlifting for about 3 to 4 years. We had not planned on going to Worlds as yet. A few months ago, Alita had the idea, because Chris and I always talk, shout out to Chris, we always talk about it. It's not something that we wanted to do this year, and then Alita kind of probed the idea a little bit, and we're like, all right, cool. Before we know it, we were on our way to Worlds. So.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.